You want to say hi? Hey, Mary. She made it. Yay. So I think I take it. Hi, Jennifer. So I think that the link worked this time. I did it through the events, and oh my gosh, like what a pain it was, because I had to actually do the invites in groups of like 25, because if I did more than that, Facebook would block me and then I would be put in jail, and it's just like crazy. So anyways, so it worked out, but I think this is probably the easier way to do it. You guys were able to do it, so just let me know if this was better for you. Hi, Tyrus. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Heather. Oh my gosh, Heather, I was thinking about you. I hope everything's good. Touch base with me later, just to say hi. That's good. So yeah, I'd love to check up on everybody once in a while. Make sure they're doing good. I'm just gonna let a few more people sign on. Hey, Jeremy, so that worked good for you. All right, thanks. I wanted the feedback because, like I said, I know last time everybody was saying they couldn't find it, first of all, and then they couldn't link onto it. So, you know, Mary, too, I was wondering if you could share it on my page so that if there's people that are on my page looking, they can click on it while we're live at the moment. Sorry. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Maureen. Hi, Paige. Yep, so you guys, good. I'm glad everybody kind of got on here. So, all right. All right, so, all right, I guess I'll get going then, since we have quite a few people already on. And I just realized I don't have earrings on, but that's okay. It's like I knew something was different. I was like, something feels really weird. So, first of all, I just wanted to thank everybody who put a request in, right, for tonight for a short reading, because you guys know that I love doing this for you when I can. And this is meant to give you an idea of how I work, and to also give you a little comfort in the meantime, right? Because you may or may not be sure whether or not you want a full reading. Maybe you can't afford it right now, or maybe, you know, you just like listening to me talk, which is fine. So I just want to give you a little bit of a background that my readings are a combination of intuitive and mediumship, okay? So what that means is I'm reading the energy around you. I'm also picking up on what could be messages from your loved ones, okay? A lot of times people already know these things. They're just looking for confirmation, right? Because if you look up the word medium, right, what does that actually mean? So spirits vibrate way up here. Our loved ones who have passed, they're all vibrating on this level way up here. And us in our everyday life, we're vibrating down here with our energy level. So mediums are just really good at raising our vibration up, and the spirits have to lower their vibration to meet us. So we meet in the middle. Therefore, we're called mediums. So it's very tiring for us, and it's tiring for them. That's why a lot of times after a session, it's just like, you know, really, really draining. So the way of doing this on here is very one-sided, right? Because we're not talking back and forth. But I still think that the message gets through as needed to the people who need to hear it. And one-on-one is definitely more in-depth. And I usually go first, and I tell you everything that I'm getting for you. And when you're having the reading, those of you who have had them, you can attest to this, right? That you don't always know everything right away. It doesn't always make sense, and that's okay, because, you know, it's fast-paced. You're in the spotlight. You feel like you're in the spotlight. You can't think of everything all at once. I'm throwing things at you, and you're trying to think, oh my God, is that true, or does it make sense? A lot of the work is done after your reading. Even here, you may not have any idea what I'm talking about. But afterwards, and I know this happens, you're talking to somebody or you're thinking, and all of a sudden it pops into your head, and you're like, oh my God, that's what she meant. I know now, right? So that's when a lot of the work is done. And, you know, rest assured, it was probably your loved ones. That was their way to get it to you. You know, like maybe they wanted you to talk to somebody, or they wanted you to look through a book so that you remember something. I always, at the end of the reading, I give you time to ask questions, right? Or if you feel that I missed something or I didn't connect with someone that you really wanted to connect with, I give you the opportunity to do that. So my goal is to not have someone be a nervous wreck while I'm doing a reading, because I want them to really hear the message. And you know, I know they're worried about, oh my God, is she going to say that word, or is she going to connect with Uncle so-and-so, you know? So I know those things are all going through everybody's mind, okay? So I will always give you the time to talk about what you feel we missed, okay? And this whole process is meant to bring you comfort, right? Because that's what our loved ones want for us. They want us to have comfort. And over again, no matter who I'm doing a reading for, that's what the message in any language is that they're okay and they want you to be okay. So, with that being said, I'm going to start. I want to start tonight with, and Robin, I think you're new to this. I don't think I've ever read you before. Robin Dorbecker Fortier. So, Robin, I was getting that, a very strong female energy around you. I think you said your sister had passed away, but I feel like this is definitely female, very motherly. So I feel like your sister was very protective of you. She kind of looked out for you and took care of you. But she talks about you needing to hear this right now. I'm not sure how soon it was that, or how long ago it was that she passed, but it's like she's been on your mind a lot lately, and you've been feeling pretty down about it, and you just are really missing her and others who have passed as well. But know that they're never far from you. And, you know, who told you to keep reaching up to the sky? Because I feel like that's the message. They keep telling you to look up, keep looking up. So someone must have said that to you at one point. Keep looking up and keep reaching for the stars. To answer your question, the feathers are for you. I know you didn't ask me that, but they said to me to tell you that, yes, the feathers are for you. And also there's a child energy around you, definitely a boy, very playful. And he says he was greeted by so many loved ones. He was greeted by so many loved ones. And Grandma, I believe this is your grandmother, says that she's going to take care of him until you are together again. Okay. Let's do Lisa Laudadio. Okay, Lisa. So I felt a lot of positive energy. I felt like, wow, you have never felt more like yourself than you do right now. And that's a really great thing. And I think you've been feeling hopeful. And some of it is the promise of, you know, the fall and the change of the season, and just, you know, the New Year's coming in a few months. So I think that there's a lot of hope for you. But I also want you to recognize that it's all the hard work that you've been doing too, because you've been doing a lot of work on the inside, right? You've been doing a lot of work on how you look at things. Oh, sorry, somebody just messaged me. So you've been, you know, it took a lot of hard work and looking inside and sorting through, you know, old feelings. You need to be proud of that. That's really hard. It's really hard anytime we try and take a look at ourselves, right? No one likes to do that. It's scary. You know, and it's hard because what if we see something we don't like? We have to change it. And how do we go about changing it? Just remember, though, that you don't have to live there anymore, okay? And what I mean by that is that it's okay to move past your past, okay? And that goes for everybody. Whatever it is that you're trying to leave behind, it's okay to leave that behind and go forward. You don't live there anymore. That's not you anymore. So don't let others link you or anchor you into the past like that, okay? Because it's hard for people to watch you change and grow. And when people are doing that and they're making it difficult for you, sometimes you have to pull away a little bit, right? You have to kind of pull yourself away so that you don't get dragged back into your old thought patterns. But I think you're definitely on the right path. Okay, Lisa? And if you have any questions on that, please feel free to reach out to me. I don't mind. Let's do Tammy Knipe. Tammy, I was just getting a lot of things changing for you, a lot of things changing around you. And I get that there's a lot of things that kind of are unsettling for you right now, and it's important that you stay focused. I know things are confusing, and there seems to be this need to want to just kind of like not deal with it. Just kind of like, you know, I just don't want to deal with this. So I'm just going to act like it's not happening or it's not there. But that's just going to cause bigger problems later on. Okay, so I think it's important to take a look at where things stand, right? Realistically, where things stand, and maybe confront the problem head on, whether it's a person or a situation. And there are lots of factors involved, and it seems like there's just not, maybe not an easy answer right now. But remember, you do not have to go backwards to go forwards, right? You don't have to go backward to go forward. But that you still have to tie up the loose ends, right? Or there's going to be problems later on. There won't be a lot of peace of mind for you, mostly. So just know that I feel very strongly that you've got this, and I know that you can do this, okay? And again, Tammy, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. Paula de Marinville. So Paula, I feel like this has been a running question in your mind. Like, what don't they understand with the word no? What do they not get? So I just feel like this is your question of the day, right? Or maybe it's the question of the month for you or the year. Like, what do these people not get? And it's also a feeling of having to constantly say no. So I want to know, who is it that's testing you? Because I feel like you're being tested on a daily basis. And I think in the past that you may have been easily persuaded to change your mind, right? It would have been easy for someone to kind of push you or sway you to their way of thinking. But you've done the work as well. You've done a lot of work, and you've grown a lot lately. And you've learned that it's okay to say no to people. Now it's just dealing with the feeling of, you know, what are they not understanding about this? What are they not getting about me not wanting to participate in this? Because they keep trying, and they're not realizing that you're not going to change your answer no matter how many times they try, right? Almost like a child. Almost like a child, but it just feels like this just keeps happening. I feel like this has to do maybe with a relationship, and that you've kind of left the door open. And, you know, I get totally, I get when it's hard to close the door on something, when we still kind of are holding on to it and we just don't want to close that door completely. You're having a time closing it, and, you know, just, maybe you don't have to shut it completely. Maybe you just need to shut it a little bit more, until you're comfortable to really be clear and concise on how you want to deal with it. So I hope that makes sense. Let's see, Teresa Irzatari. I hope I said that right. So Teresa, you know, I kept hearing, why are you walking away? Why are you walking away? So I was trying to understand if this was figuratively, or are you actually walking away from something? I feel like this is something that you're like, I'm out of here, like walking away quickly. And you're just kind of exasperated by the whole situation. You know, ask yourself, who or what are you walking away from? You know, it's okay. It's okay because you've gone out of your way to try and make things work at the what's the word I'm thinking of? The detriment of your own happiness, right? You've done everything, whether it made you happy or not. And the frustration that you're feeling is because you've put your own needs aside. Basically, you've just kind of, you know, said to yourself, what I feel doesn't matter because I need to make this work. And it's been so long, right? And you've been trying so hard to make this work. So you have to realize that you cannot control other people or make them happy, right? Although we would love to, right? How much easier for us would that be if we can control a situation, but we can't, right? And the other part of that is realizing that they're not happy with themselves, right? They're not happy with themselves, and they're making it difficult for you. So again, take a step back, try and get a clearer picture of what is going on, and, you know, tackle it from a different perspective, because I think that's what needs to be done. You have to tackle it from a different way than you've been doing it. And it's going to get better once you start to look at it differently and approach it differently. Okay? Let's do Mary Ann Wilson Fair. So, guys, you know, say hi to Mary. I forgot to say that Mary's moderating again tonight. So feel free to post any questions. She'll make sure that I get them. She's going to periodically post information for you guys to just kind of see, you know, and again, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me as well after the fact. I'm good with that. So let's do Marianne Wilson Fair. Marianne, I get you've been going through a lot lately. I feel like there's this heavy kind of weight on you. And, you know, hon, I know right now it seems like you just are not getting a break on any front, right? You're not getting a break. And you're the strength for so many people. And you're giving them what they need. You give them what they need, right? To deal with what they need to do with everything that keeps coming along. And, you know, there's a lot of things that are going to change in the next few weeks for you. Okay? So I want you to prepare yourself. It's nothing negative. It's just that things are going to kind of keep coming at you. And I want you to take care of yourself so that you're not so drained. And just know that you are loved and that you are surrounded by all your loved ones who are so proud of how you are handling things. Okay? And it's going to get better. Let's do Linda Sullivan Richards. Linda, I think you're new. I don't think I've ever read you before. So welcome to everybody who's new. So Linda, I kept getting, trust your intuition. Trust your intuition. And I get that there's someone that you're just having a hard time really trusting with what they're telling you, or you, in your mind, they're selling you. Okay, but it's what they're telling you. I keep hearing that it's not sitting right in your gut. And I want you to learn to trust that feeling, right? Because, excuse me 1 second. Okay, let me finish this and I'll answer your question, Michelle. So I keep hearing that it's not sitting right in your gut, and I want you to learn to trust that feeling, right? Because that's your subconscious telling you that something isn't quite adding up, right? Sometimes we get that feeling and we're not sure, and, you know, maybe they're telling us one thing, but the actions are different, or, you know, just something's just off, right? So we need to listen to that and try and see if the actions are aligning with their words, and that's a good measure. Michelle, I think was the name, had just messaged me quickly that she was asking how to get on the list. So Michelle, what happens normally is I will post that I'm going live. I'll post an event, and you just comment, please read me, or your question. And then I put you on the list, and then I try to get to as many as I can. So Michelle, if I have time, I can add you to tonight. I don't want to promise because I do still have quite a few to go through. So if not, please definitely put your name on for next time. Okay, let me, who do we have next? Kathy Cadella. So Kathy, I'm so happy to see that you were on the list again. So I get there's a lot of good things coming in the next few months for you. And I get that there's some kind of a celebration coming. I'm not sure if this is something that's finally come to fruition for you, that you've been kind of worried about, or whether it's just, you know, something that I want to say without saying that's something that you've been kind of, the way I took it was something that you've been waiting to settle has finally settled, or will be settling. So I think that's a weight off your shoulder. And I think you've been really holding some feelings in, and now that it's time to let them go, right? And enjoy this precious time. I get purple tulips for you, and I get that there's going to be some kind of a celebration. Again, I think it's connected to whatever this situation is. And I think it's okay. You know, it's all going to be okay. And there was nothing else to be said or done. And I think you understand this. And you keep worrying that there was more to do or more to say. And that's not the case. You did everything that you could. Okay? So again, Kathy, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. All right, let's see who else we have. We have Amber Pelletier. Amber, I hope you're watching. So Amber, there's something that you've been wanting to do. And you keep telling yourself, you know, we get that narrative in our head over and over again, and it's holding you back, right? Because you have this whole list of all the reasons why you can't do it. I can't do it because of this. I can't do it because of that. I can't go here because of that, right? And that's not like you. And I'm not sure where the doubt is coming from, right? Because I keep hearing that you're normally positive and confident in your skills, but for some reason, this is really kind of throwing you for a loop. I don't feel that the belief is necessarily yours, because I think that you're getting a lot of opinions from other people. I feel like the opinions are coming from other people. And, you know, I want you to trust your feelings. I want you to own it and accept it and try and heal it. You know that when you let fear take over, right, you start making decisions that aren't necessarily the ones that you want or the ones that are best for you, right? Because when we act out of fear, we're acting on, you know, past experiences or just the unknown, right? And so we don't always know what's going to happen, and some people just get paralyzed by that, and you don't want to do that. So I have no doubt that you're going to work through this, and I think that the validation that the universe says you can do it is important for you to focus on. So just remember that you can do this, okay? Let's do Lisa Flaherty. So Lisa, you already know. You already know. You already know that you've got things covered, and you're just looking for reassurance, okay? And I get it. I get it. We all want that reassurance, right? Because again, we doubt ourselves, or we're just not sure. And, you know, the main thing right now is to focus on the cold, hard facts I kept hearing. And I feel like that's dad. I feel this is your dad or your father-in-law who is definitely father figure who's saying, concentrate on the cold, hard facts. And, you know, because that's what's going to give you the information that you need to make this decision in the end. The rest is going to fall into place, okay? So I think yeah, I think that there's a lot of things that need to be done first, right? Before you can get to where you think you're going. Does that make sense? So I just want you to kind of focus on that and get the information that you need. Sit down, take a look at it, and then use that information to help you make a decision that you're comfortable with, okay? Don't try and make a blindsided decision, you know, out of nowhere or based on fear, okay? Try and you know, if you have to make a list of what you're afraid of, and then kind of, you know, well, is this possible? Is this going to happen? Is this reality, or is this just me projecting my fears, okay? Let's do Martha Fairbanks. Martha, wow. So I think it's really important for you to hear these words tonight, okay? I know I did a reading for you once before. I know a little bit about the situation. I don't know, obviously, a lot of details. So when I got this message, I was kind of a little unsure, but I have to trust that you will understand it, okay? And if you want to discuss it after, we can. But what I was getting for you was I needed to tell you that it wasn't your fault and that there was nothing you could have done differently. He says, I'm always with you and I have not left you. And I see all the struggles you're having, and I know that it would be different if I was still there. You're doing all the right things, and you need to focus on your life here and now. And he also says that, you know, things are going to start getting better for you soon. And to stop doubting your decisions that you've made. You've made some decisions this past year, some changes that for some reason you're kind of going backwards on the feelings of, oh, did I do the right thing? You know, did I make the right decision? You did the right thing. You made the right decision. Trust that, okay? Don't go backwards. Keep going forwards. It's really it's really a good thing that you've done. Okay, so I think you understand that. But again, if you want to talk about it, just let me know. Let's do Darlene Hoadley. So Darlene, what is going on? Because I feel like I heard we need to get some peace to this situation. We need to kind of calm this situation down. So we have to remember that no one is perfect. Okay, so I kept hearing no one is perfect and that we all have different perspectives. And we all have ideas of what we think is right. So I feel like you're being surrounded by people who are refusing to hear what anyone else is trying to say. So I feel like there's all this chatter. There's been a lot of chatter with all the readings I was doing, you know, even a couple that I did outside of, not on live, but I did, you know, personal one-on-one readings. There's just like a lot of chatter with everybody, you know, like everybody's sorting through all these things, and people aren't listening to each other, right? And it's hard for people to always well, how do I want to say this? It's hard for people to always hear each other. We or maybe I should say listen. Is that what I want to say? You know, like you hear people talking, but you're not really listening. I guess that's what I want to say. And some people just can't grow. They just can't grow past where they are, okay? So you could be talking and talking, and they are just not going to get what you're saying, right? But it's more important for them, in their mind, that they're right. How do you talk to people like that when all they want to do is be right? You can't talk to people like that. The goal is to have a conversation and find a common ground. So I want you to look past the strong, loud presence, right, of what this person is portraying to you, and look at what's really going on. And I know you hear me say that a lot, right? Take a step back, look at what's really going on, because what we see happening with people a lot of time is not the whole picture, because there's so many things going on in their minds, and there's things that are happening, or, you know, and we only see like the tip of the iceberg. We don't see all the other stuff that's going on in somebody's life. So it's really important sometimes that we just kind of take a look at what's going on around us, and, you know, are they having a bad day, you know? And again, I say this all the time, it doesn't excuse the bad behavior, but it makes it easier for us to kind of be like, okay, well, you know, they're just having a bad day, so I'm just gonna, otherwise we absorb it and we take it all in. So, you know, I just want you to take a look at that person and try and figure out, is this person, you know, afraid or fighting their own trauma or emotions? And again, right now, like I said, there's so much chatter, and everybody's just, you know, I don't want to like bring it in here into the conversation, but, you know, the virus and this and that and the shots and who's doing this and who's doing that, and everybody's getting angry and distant and sad and, you know, uninterested, but really we're just worried and scared, and we have anxiety. So, you know, and none of those feelings are wrong, because that's what we're all going through. The thing is that we need to realize that we're not alone, and the secrets that, you know, the secrets we keep, the things that we hold inside because we're afraid to share, those are the things that wreak havoc in our lives, physically and emotionally, with our health. And when we talk about things, we find that others have the same feelings, or they understand our feelings and can offer advice, or just be there for each other. It's so important. And try not to react to each other. Try to understand that whatever's really going on, it's not always about us. Okay? And we all need to try and be better to each other. Let's see. Let's do Sean Chapman. Sean, I hope you're watching tonight. I think it's been a while since I did a reading for you. I hope you're feeling better. So Sean, I get a strong father figure coming in for you. And I keep hearing, and you know, Sean, I know that your father had passed, and I was trying to think, because the rest of this that was coming in, I was trying to connect it to your dad, and I feel like this might be your grandfather, because he's talking about his mind being free now, and he says, I'm not suffering anymore. So I feel it's grandpa. Was he suffering from dementia? Because it just feels like, you know, being upset and like being neither here nor there. A lot of times when people come through to me when they have dementia, or, you know, like Alzheimer's, or sometimes if they're in a coma, or some kind of altered state, they will come through, but they come through as neither here nor there. So I have a hard time kind of grounding them here, you know, but so they're able to come. So anyways, but he keeps saying he wants you to remember him by the happy memories, and don't think and dwell about the ending, because as painful as that was, because you were watching that. Again, we are so attached to our physical bodies, right? And in his experience, he was communicating already with people from the other side who passed, who were there to help him, to comfort him, to meet him and bring him over to and transition. And he has no more worries, and he wants you to know that he is so much better now. And he really wants you to know that he's at peace. So I think you struggle with this at times, and that's why he's adamant that he is okay, okay? And he says that he tries to let you know that he is around you. And I feel like you already know this. So I know, Sean, you're pretty in tune with things. Let's do Magdalena De La Rose. Magdalena. So I know you're a little impatient right now, and I know that you want it right now. but you have to allow the universe, right, or God, to deliver it when the time is right. Things always come to us when the time is right, and things are lining up to get you to the right place and situation. If we rush things, right, we rush things and we rush through it, we're not always ready, or the situation isn't always ready, and we miss important steps along the way. By waiting, we allow the universe to handle all the details, right? Handles everything, gets everything lined up, and we're allowing things to fall into place that are meant to be. If we force it, it's not natural. So how hard is that, right? Because what are we taught growing up, right? You go for it, go for it, and we're taught to be go-getters, right? But I think sometimes for things to turn out correctly, that we have to kind of learn to be more patient and let things kind of fall into place naturally. Sorry, I was just thinking, because I also wanted to add that I just keep hearing and I'm not sure where this is coming from, but I just keep hearing to add that there's no counter correction or redo on this matter. So whatever this matter is, you need to let it happen and let it go the way it's supposed to go, because from what I'm understanding of this, that once it's done, it's done. Okay, let's do Jen Rinaldi. So Jen, you're another one. You're kind of looking for the answers and you want them. Know that you will get them. The answers aren't always just given to us, right? We always ask for an answer, or even our prayers aren't always answered right away. Sometimes, we have to do a little work to get them or to understand. Things may not be revealed to us all at once. Sometimes the universe knows better, right? And we get things kind of doled out to us a little at a time. We might get a little piece of information here, or a piece of information there, or we might, understand something today that we didn't understand yesterday. So it comes to us in little bits and pieces, right? Because sometimes if we got something in one big blowout of an answer, right, it might freak us out. And it would shake you up. So you might be like, I can't handle it. So the important thing is that you realize that it's for your own good, right? Sometimes we find out information that is upsetting, but think about how more detrimental it would be to you if you didn't find out, right? Because sometimes we find out things and we're like, oh God, I just wish I just didn't even know that, but we needed to know. If we can learn, how do I say this? If we can learn the lesson without suffering, then everyone is happy, right? The universe doesn't want us to suffer, right? You might have to look at the information a little bit deeper than just what's on the surface, and then trust your gut. What is happening is leading you to a better place. And I think we always kind of find that out after the fact, that, you know what, maybe I am better off that I didn't get that job, or maybe I am better off that I didn't get that, great big house with the huge mortgage, I think that afterwards we always kind of look back and say, you know what, maybe I was better off. And we don't always know that in the moment. So we have to trust sometimes when things are happening. And don't be afraid to let things go, so that you can recognize and accept the answers that are being shown to you. Okay. Let's see what else we have. I'm going to do... let's do Amy Lustrina. I think I saw you sign on, so I wanted to make sure I got to you. So we'll do you next. I want to know where you're feeling like the wheels are just kind of going continuously around and around and around. And it feels like it's just, for you, it feels endless. But there's nothing you can do to stop it from happening, at least not right now. I believe that's talking about life in general. But I feel like you keep adapting, right? Because you're good at that. You're good at adapting and moving forward and going on, because that's what's so great about you. You don't let anything slow you down, and you just keep moving forward. You know it needs to be done, and you do it. But know that it's okay to ask for help sometimes, and know that there's many loving people around you who want to assist you. So let them. Let the ones who want to be there for you be there for you. Okay? Samuel Pride, I don't know if you're on here tonight. Samuel, you're always a chore for me. Not in a bad way. I mean that in a good way. It's just because you always are changing, and you're always changing, and there's always just something with you. So I just get that you have a lot in your head right now, and that does not surprise me because I know you're a thinker, right? You're a thinker. And I think you have a lot of things on your mind, and it's important for you to get out of your head once in a while, because I think sometimes you get in there and you stay there and you just start thinking and thinking. Relax a little, de-stress, do something fun. It's important that you pay attention to your health, because I feel like you've been kind of ignoring your health a little bit right now. You've been kind of distracting yourself, and I feel like there's a little bit of a feeling of being overwhelmed. Remember that self-care is important. And I also think you need to simplify a few things. I think you need to simplify, a few things to get to a better place, but I think it's definitely possible. And again, I know you're one of those people that kind of already knows this. Let's do Mary Harton. Mary, I know you had a specific question, and I saw it after the fact, after I had already written this, so I'm going to read for you what I had gotten for you this afternoon. Let's see if we can connect the dots. If not, we're going to be doing your Zoom recorded reading that we're going to be putting on YouTube. So if this doesn't resonate with you, we can always address it during that time, if that works for you. Okay? So let's do this. So Mary, I just get like distraction. I need you to take that time to really allow yourself to feel what's going on, what's really going on, okay? Now is the time that, the tears are going to come and the laughter, you're going to go back and forth between laughter and tears, and that's okay, right? Let the emotions come out and accept it, okay? Accept it for what it is. No matter how hard it may be at this moment, it's going to get better. Be mindful of all the good things and focus on them and release those emotions that are weighing you down. You are an empath. We already know that. You absorb everybody's energy around you. Good, bad, happy, sad, whatever it is. You're just, wherever you go, the energy in the room that you walk into, even before you walk in, you can feel it. So you're kind of like, not only are you dealing with your stuff, you're dealing with everybody else's stuff, and you're trying to sort out what is my stuff and what is their stuff, right? I feel like you've had a lot thrown at you in the last few weeks, and I feel like there was something that kind of was thrown at you that threw you for a loop that you probably weren't expecting it, okay? I want you to know that you're important, and I want you to focus on listening to yourself and doing what is helpful for you. And I know it's hard, and I know it sounds like it's going to be a lot of changes, but they'll be good for you in the end, and you're going to learn to love yourself a little bit more. Try to learn to accept what is and do what needs to be done, and you're going to be fine. So, Mary, I hope that made sense for you. I can kind of connect it to your question that you left for me. I think there's a little bit more to elaborate on, but then again, like I said, we can do that during your reading that we're going to record for YouTube. I think Mary posted my YouTube link. So if you guys have a chance to go to it and click subscribe, because we're going to be putting some really cool things on there, like investigations, some one-on-one readings that I'm going to be recording and putting on, just things that you're not going to get here on the live. Oh, but we're also going to post some of the lives on there too, though. So if you wanted to go back and look at them, you can. Let's see. Let's do Patty Krupke. All right, Patty. Patty, all right. So who is it that you need to forgive? I just feel like, I feel like there's somebody that you need to forgive. And part of me is saying, she feels like you need to forgive yourself. What does forgiveness mean, right? It means that we're consciously deciding that the situation or the person will not determine the rest of our story. So don't keep reviewing what went wrong over and over in your head, okay? Don't relive the past, because we steal the joy of the present when we keep reliving the past, right? When we let go of the old story, we can go forward. So cry, vent, whatever it is that you need to do. Forgive yourself or them for what they didn't know or didn't do, okay? And sometimes our expectations get in the way of just accepting people for what they are or who they are and what they have to offer. So, interesting. Some pops in my head. But I was listening to a podcast and she was saying something, and it's not, I don't know, I guess it's not rocket science, but it just made me think where the girl was talking about, ask yourself 2 questions, or write 2 things down. So you're supposed to do this exercise and you write down, I am, and then list all the things that you are. And then say, on the second part of it, you write down, who am I? And I had to think about that, because I was like, okay, what's really the difference? But I guess there is a difference, because when you're talking to people and, you're saying, well, I am a doctor, or I am this, or I am that, you're telling somebody what you are, but you're not saying who you are, right? So there's something, I think I do something on that a little later, because I just found that really kind of interesting. Anyways, I don't know, I'm getting old. All right, Janet Trujillo. So Janet, things around you are changing, and I kept hearing you need to, and I think this is what you're doing. So I think this is already in process, hon, adapting your inner world to your outer world, or maybe it's the other way around, adapting your outer world to your inner world. I think that the sensitivity that you're feeling will help you navigate the people and the environment, okay? So this is the time to act as if, right? Until the new way feels familiar to you. So life is offering you a great lesson, and it's not about losing yourself, it's about growth. Don't be afraid of this new direction, because it's going to bring you to a better place, right? It's all about getting to a better place, no matter what we do. We do it to get to a better place or be a better person. Let's do Paige Elaine. Paige, I think I saw you on earlier. I think I see your little face up there, Paige. I love your picture. It's so cute. So I get there's been a lot of changes for you and a lot of personal growth, okay? You've dealt with a lot of loss, and not necessarily all with people passing. I just feel like you've dealt with a lot of loss, and you've been inspired to make changes in your life, right? And I feel like there was an incident that really made you want to change your life. And I keep feeling like you were fighting a battle of some kind. I want to say like the feelings felt intimidating. Okay, let me explain that better. So I feel like the changes were intimidating to someone. Someone was watching as you were changing, and it became intimidating for them. And they kind of wanted to fight you on it, if that makes sense. Because they were fearful. Because all of this growing and changing that you were doing was, believe it or not, putting a focus on themselves. Because it made them feel like, geez, what am I doing with my life? What am I doing? You're doing this and you're doing that, and I'm just kind of stuck on this path. It feels like you've been reaching out more and more and helping more. And it feels like this kind of scared the heck out of you at first. And you might have, pushed to get a good look at what you were doing. But I feel like, it spilled over into other areas of your life. And that first step you took started a whole series of events for yourself. And I don't think you realized at the time that you would be impacting as many people as you are with these changes. So it's really a good thing. Sorry, guys. I have to take a sip of my Diet Coke. Sorry. Talking too much. Okay. Okay, let's do Mary McGinnis. Sorry, I have to have a little humor in this. Otherwise, it could be so serious, right? Okay. So, Mary, I get that you have so much to be grateful for, but I feel like you already know this. And I also feel that you're worried, and you're worried about so many things. I don't think they're like huge things. It doesn't feel like that to me. It just feels like kind of like everyday little things that you're just kind of, building up on you. And that trust that things are all going to work out in your favor and for the good of your family. It's okay to feel safe and to trust that things will be okay. You worry because you love people so much, right? And love all the blessings that you have right now. We have to enjoy these moments when things seem almost perfect, because it's important that you take care of yourself and nurture yourself and do things that make you feel good. Work on the things that are important to you. And, the worry is what tires you out. The worry takes away from, time that you could be spending on strengthening yourself, or it's time for you to, be with your family or work on the things that are bothering you. It's time for you to move forward confidently. All right, Pam Bolduc Pepe. Let's do Pam. So Pam, I get there's some things in your life that you kind of want to discard right now, right? You just want to kind of get rid of some things. But you have to realize that when we ignore or throw out certain parts of ourselves, that we may end up feeling lost or kind of out of sorts, right? So we stop doing something, or we change something, and we feel kind of like, it just doesn't feel right, right? Especially if we're doing it for someone else and we're not doing it for ourselves, and it just feels like it's not worth asking. This is like the theme right now, right? Like, why is it so hard to just be kind? Why is it so hard to just do the right thing? And I keep hearing it as a recurring thought in your mind, but I don't want you to let it drive you crazy, okay? Allow people to be who they are in life, and just know that they're learning at their own pace, okay? Let me see who else. Vanessa Glon. Vanessa, I get, oh my God, did you hear my knee crack? Told you I was getting old. Okay, so anyways, you suffered losses this year that you were not expecting. And, you have to, well, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that you have to stop. You keep asking yourself, why? Okay? And you have to know that things were in their control, and they chose how they wanted it to play out. Okay, I hope that's helpful for you. Know that your love and support was important, and that they couldn't have asked for anything more from you. Okay? What is it Carrie? What's the Carrie connection for you? But I also feel you're being pulled in different directions, right? I feel like you're feeling like, oh my God, people are just like pulling me here and there. Give yourself some credit, okay? Because things are starting to work out in your favor because you did everything you were supposed to do. Focus on the next steps going forward so that you're prepared to act when the time comes, okay? Carolyn McKay. Carolyn, one thing I want you to do is to stop apologizing. I want you to be proud of your truth. Guys, we're always doubting ourselves, right? And we think everyone else knows better than we do. We're all struggling, and the sooner we all start admitting it to each other, the better we'll be. When you feel like you need to apologize, okay? When you feel like you need to apologize, Carolyn, just stop for a minute and think, is this just like an automatic reaction? Or do I really need to apologize? I'm not talking about, apologizing when you've done something wrong. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when we walk around apologizing for, like, breathing. And I know people who do that. I'm sorry. I too loud. Oh, I'm sorry. And I love the saying, speak your truth, even if your voice shakes, right? And I use that a lot as my own personal mantra, because I've had to learn to do that, right? We have to speak the truth. And I guarantee you that you have people watching, you, okay? People watching you that you will inspire, and you may change their lives. And, you know, stop second guessing yourself, because if you question everything about yourself, you lose trust and faith. You're on the right path. Trust this and pay attention to all the signs that confirm that you're on the right path. Okay, so just pay attention to those signs. Let's do Beverly Ehrlman. I'm sorry, Beverly, I'm killing your name here. Beverly Ehrlman Ayers. Okay. Female energy, definitely motherly. So I feel like this is mom. She says, this has been going on long enough. This has been going on long enough, and I need some movement forward. I don't want you to use ultimatums, because it's not a good method to use. Okay? I'm getting like there's some kind of a discussion that needs to be held, but it needs to be a very honest discussion, right? With a lot of honest emotions being sorted out. And this is the time when, what's the saying? You know, you really want to come clean with this person, or with yourself. I have a feeling this might even be coming clean with yourself about something. You know, don't play it down. Really, really acknowledge what's going on, because if you're afraid to do that, you know, it's not really going to help the situation. Don't be afraid of a negative outcome, right? Because, or I should say, don't be afraid of what you might perceive as a negative outcome. Because, you know, sometimes the outcomes we perceive as negative at first are really blessings in disguise. Again, kind of like we were talking about a few minutes ago, you know, oh, it kind of worked out that I didn't get that job, or I didn't, you know, get this or that. But I don't want you to avoid things, right? I want you to do things when you're ready, but I don't want you to avoid them, because by avoiding them, they just prolong the pain that we're already feeling. And we know when we keep things inside, we can write our own story in our heads, right? We write the chapter in our head, and, you know, things that aren't even going to happen. And we scare ourselves into not even doing anything. And again, that's reacting out of fear, and that's not good. So for the takeaway message for you is that I want you to take a breath and don't let your impatience cause you to do something that you will regret later. You're going to be fine. And remember that your feeling of being ready to move forward is your spirit telling you that you need to move forward. It's up to you to decide how and what needs to be done. Okay, I hope that makes sense. This girl right here is going to drive me up a wall. Not really. I'm just kidding, Deb. You changed your name, and I cannot get used to it. Delin Banjo. So this is my friend Deb. Deb, oh my gosh. On a serious note. I just kept being scared to let go because of what you might lose. I have an idea what I think this is about. I don't want to kind of say it on here, but I totally get that. And you have to shift your focus from what you might lose to what you might gain. I know it sounds, you know, cliche, right? But it's so true. Endings are new beginnings. And it's how we look at that. It's how we look at that change that will determine how it is, if that makes sense. So I want you to kind of make a list of all the things that you think you're going to lose, and then make a list of all the things you're going to gain. I don't want you to focus so much on the negatives, because I know you've already done that. You've already run that through your head a million gazillion times. And you're another one, I want you to get out of your own head and not think so much about everything, and take control of the thoughts. And does that mean that you're not going to have, you know, a sad thought? No, but when you have one, take control of it. And then, yeah, just kind of believe in yourself. And I'm sorry, I had to stop for a minute, because I heard to remember that the miracles happen between our heart and our head. So I thought that was interesting. Okay, let's do Elaine Topolsky Wages. Elaine, you were one that I felt I needed to remind that you have to allow yourself to feel it, to heal it, okay? And again, I know that sucks, but the only way out is through. And that comes up quite a bit. Take a deep breath and know that the pain is only temporary. Some days it's going to be easier, and some days it's going to be, you know, harder and hit you kind of harder. but just kind of face it and kind of take it in, and then you can kind of let it go. You know, are you ready to forgive? Are you ready to forgive? Because you're not the situation or what happened, okay? It's not you. When you forgive, right, what does it mean? When you forgive, you're giving compassion to someone, whether it's yourself or someone else, for the hurt or confusion they had when they hurt you. And you're not condoning it, but you're choosing to let the situation stop controlling you. And you don't let it control whether or not you're happy, if that makes sense. And then you're choosing to be happy and take steps every day towards that goal. And it's going to get easier the more you do it. Okay, let's see. Who else do we have? I think I have Barbara Wright. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anybody. I think I have Barbara Wright. I don't see a lot of comments, guys. Are you commenting? Am I putting you to sleep tonight? All right, let's do Barbara Wright. Barbara, I get, again, you are a person who's been through a lot of loss. And I'm very sorry, because I feel like this has been almost nonstop for you. And I want you to know that things are going to get better. This is a reminder, you know, that life has to go on for those of us still here, and our loved ones want us to continue living, because this is, you know, our time here, and they're fine. The love you have or had with them, you're still able to access that, okay? It's just different. We always talk about the physical and the spiritual. You can still have somewhat of a relationship, but it's just different. It's not in the physical world. They want us to continue living, right? They knew how much you loved them, and they were not alone, because I think there was a fear that they were alone. They had their loved ones with them, is what they said, to help them transition. Let's do, I think I had a couple more, right? I think I had Jen and Tyrus, right? Jen and Tyrus. All right, Jen. So I kept getting, Jen, that you need to kind of change the way you're looking at the situation. Okay? I'm not sure. It feels, I know what I was trying to think of was, it feels that it doesn't have anything to do with your current situation. I know you had some physical difficulties. It doesn't have to do with that. I feel like this is something different, but I need you to embrace the fact that this is unique. So I need you to embrace that and kind of accept it, and, you know, focus. I want you to focus on what your priorities are, if that makes sense, okay? Because I feel like you're being pushed in different directions, and I feel like you're being told what you should do. Focus on what you want to do, what your priorities are, and where you want to end up. Because I think that's the important thing. You're going to have to hear what people are saying, yeah, because you kind of are stuck in that situation. So yeah, you're going to kind of have to listen to it, but you don't have to absorb it and acknowledge it or let it, you know, become part of you. Turn that sound off, okay? And focus on your priorities, okay? Tyrus, I needed to tell you that there's definitely a male energy who came in for you. But he just keeps saying to me, Tyrus has the wisdom. Tyrus has the wisdom, and he has the objectivity. And he keeps saying that's really important for you right now in the situation that you're in. Okay? Yeah. Is this your dad who passed? And he just keeps saying that it's going to get really busy for you. So buckle up, Buttercup. It's getting busy. And I don't know if he said that, but that's what he said to me. Maybe he's warning me. I don't know, but he's like, you know, things, buckle up, boy, because it's getting busy. So I think this is good for you, whatever's going on. And he's saying that you definitely have the knowledge and the wisdom to handle the situation. So I don't know if you've been doubting yourself lately, but you need to stop doing that. Okay, I think I got everybody. Let's see. Guys, Halloween is coming up, so I want to know what you want to do or what you want to hear. I'm going to give you some choices. So we can talk about Sandy Hook. We can talk about the haunted apartment. We can listen to audio and video from the apartment with pictures from the haunted apartment. These were not shown on TV. These were not included in the television show, so these would be something totally new. Trying to think, we can do readings if you guys wanted to. But give me your suggestions. Tell me what you want. Putting that all together for Halloween, I'm gonna give you a little bit more detail on that. Again, check out the YouTube channel. I'm gonna post again for another live, probably for next Sunday. I think next Sunday is probably gonna be the next one. So then just put your comments again. Those of you who are saying, how do I get read? Just make sure you put a comment. Please read me. I added the word please. You don't have to say please. You can just put read me. Or your question. Jeremy, you posted a question that I think I'm going to save it for next week because there were just so many readings to do tonight. Jeremy asked how I knew I had this gift. So Jeremy, I'm gonna work on that answer, and we will talk about that next Sunday. So again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Leave your comments, leave your questions. If I didn't get to you, please just, it's nothing personal. It's just there's so many on the list. I try to get to everybody. Sometimes I miss a name. Sometimes people put it in a different place and I don't see it. So again, just make sure you get on the list for next week. Okay? All right, guys. Good night. Thank you. Bye.